So this is one that I was very excited about hearing, and I'm happy they announced them. Marvel announced their Star Wars comics.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna start with 3 of them. Star Wars by Jason Aaron and John Cassaday, which is like, let me just tell you now, these creative teams are no joke. Like, Marvel's not playing around.
That's exactly what I wrote on my thing. I wrote it in my notes. I was like, Marvel's coming out to play with the Lucas properties.
The second book is Star Wars Darth Vader #1 by Kieron Gillen and Salvador Larroca. Kieron Gillen is writing Wicked and Divine.
Yeah.
And then the third book, which like everyone flipped out about, is a Princess Leia miniseries written by Mark Waid with art by Terry Dodson. And there's one other thing to get very excited about when it comes to this. All three books take place right after the first movie, which means that the characters, especially Darth Vader, are going to be at they're physically at their best, and the story-wise, there's a lot to go with, and especially with Darth Vader, this is when he's at his most dangerous. So these aren't like, and I hate to be so mean, but a lot of the time with the expanded universe that Dark Horse did, you had like some of these characters who were old, and I'm like, I don't want to see old Luke Skywalker. I want to see Luke Skywalker beating that ass with a lightsaber. Like, I don't want to see old Luke Skywalker.
The Star Wars series from Dark Horse was pretty good. I actually was reading that one. The main one, the one that was just titled Star Wars. I didn't read any of the side ones, but I know the main Star Wars one I enjoyed. Which kind of sucks because they're gonna get rid of everything and start over because now Marvel owns them. But how awesome is it that we're gonna get a Princess Leia female book by Mark Waid? Like, Mark Waid doesn't write
the first movie.
and it's gonna be her being a badass.
Yes.
That's exactly what? Amazing.
Yes, that's why I was excited, because like right after A New Hope, that's when like everybody is like
badasses.
That's when they're all at their beast mode level.
Yeah.
Like, and it's only a mini series, so on top of this,
she's got a fucking pistol in her hand. It's awesome.
It's like on top of all of this, like you gotta think about like in 2016, like what are they gonna do next? Because Princess Leia is only a mini series, so you know.
And the other thing is, this is all canon now. That's what they've said. This all matters with the movies, with the past movies and the future movies. Everything we learn in these books matters. That's even better. Like, everything you read here is going to help you when you watch the movies or watch the old movies. They're all going to go and make sense all together. So to find out what Princess like Leia was doing between the original Star Wars series to what she is now in the new one that comes out, we're going to find out here. Like, we're literally going to find out what she's been doing, and well, maybe not entirely, but we're gonna find out what's been going on with these guys for like, that's so cool to me. In between the movies.
Because this is right between the first and second original trilogy movies. So like, you still have where this takes place. This is before a lot of stuff still happens. Like, this is gonna be right after Alderaan gets blown up. This is right after she meets Han Solo. This is like the middle of all the action.
Yep.
So I guess, that's the one other thing about this is that Marvel getting their hands on the comic book properties of Star Wars, I guess it's a good thing because Marvel, even though Dark Horse had a really good story with Star Wars, I really enjoyed the story, but
they had some really good ones. They did, but like some stories were just like, you don't care.
Yeah, there were too many of them, which was the problem.
Over the years,
there was like too many of them, but I enjoyed the main Star Wars one, and I read they had the Darth Vader one that was pretty good, which I read. At least the beginning was pretty good. It's cool. Starting over, hopefully getting younger people to actually understand these characters. Hopefully people are gonna pick them up. I'm just hoping that younger people pick them up.
And the thing is this is another reason why I'm so excited, because I love Star Wars, and while I don't have as much hatred for the prequels as some people have, I'm happy that Marvel said, you know what, no one cares about Anakin Skywalker when he's a kid. No one cares about what he's doing when he's a teenager. We want to see Darth Vader being evil, running the galaxy, doing his thing. So they said, let's just stick with the original trilogy characters. And then it also shows that, like, whatever J.J. Abrams does in the movies coming up, that it's just going to be its own thing. These comics are going to be totally independent of that. So they're not even trying to adapt any characters that he's creating for the new trilogy. That's going to be its own separate thing, which I love.
These all launch in November, right? Is that when these were launching?
I believe that the press release came out much later on and said they started in 2015.
Oh man, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, all right, these are the first three, but I was wondering, you mentioned the Anakin thing. I'm wondering if we're gonna get like side stories with Anakin when he was younger.
The only thing that I felt was missing from the Star Wars announcement was that there is no Obi-Wan series. I need some Obi-Wan in my life.
I mean, they have the team one, which is just titled Star Wars, but no.
He's dead by then. He's dead by then.
No Boba Fett. No nothing.
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah. I just think they want to test the waters with this.
I mean, this is clearly gonna. There's no way this fails. I mean,
no.
I mean, I know we're jumping to conclusions, but look at the teams. Look at the property. Like
this is gonna sound mean too, but that was the thing when Marvel got it. Look at who writes for Marvel.
Yeah.
Did you really think they were gonna not put some talent on the books? I mean, come on.
I didn't even when Marvel had it, I didn't even think about. I mean, they spoke about they were gonna relaunch them and everything. I didn't even think about the talent that they had to put on the books. I wasn't even thinking about it.
That was the first thing I thought. I was like, well, it's not gonna be no up and comers who are writing for Dark Horse trying to get their name out there. It's gonna be like Jason Aaron.
Yeah, that's actually a big one, John Cassaday. Yeah, this is exciting.
It turned into an epic.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, damn man, Marvel. People at Marvel just know when it comes to everything. They have a game plan with everything they are doing, from comics to TV to movie. They have a game plan. That's the best thing about them, is they have a game plan for everything. Like, and they clearly have a vision for what this Star Wars is going to be. They have a vision.
Yeah, they do. And the thing is too, I mean, if you are like a big Star Wars fan, you know the kind of tone that Star Wars takes, and Marvel to me seems like the right place to do that, because Star Wars has moments where it's kind of funny. You know, C-3PO, R2-D2, they're the comedic relief. And I feel like Marvel knows how, their talent knows how to do that, so it's going to feel like watching a Star Wars movie. It's going to be like Star Wars. It's not going to be like an extremely serious version of Star Wars, which I feel some of the Dark Horse books did. They got very, very dramatic. And Star Wars injects that little bit of humor here and there. So I just feel like that's an important part. Like the Darth Vader series, that's going to be serious. But the Star Wars #1, the Jason Aaron book, that's not going to be totally dramatic. I think that's going to have some Guardians of the Galaxy type moments.
Yeah, like what I was going to say is that in general, I think that they're taking a lot of their cosmic stories seriously, with the exception of Cyclops. They're taking a lot of their cosmic stories seriously, and they're trying to show people that there is a lot. They're beyond the Earth. There is a lot to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And did anybody else get excited thinking about Scotty Young versions of these things? Or was it just
covers? Yes. Yeah. I hope he does I hope he does a Darth Vader cover. Like seriously, I will own that.
I just started thinking about it. I'm like, man, these Scotty Young variants are gonna be awesome.
People had suggested. Yeah, and people had suggested that, like, somewhere down the line, that Scotty Young, since he's like Rocket Raccoon was such a big hit, and because of his writing and his art, that he get like a C-3PO R2-D2.
Oh my god, I was just about to say that, but I was like, man, I didn't want to come off as too. I'm like, wouldn't that be funny? They give, because he's a comedy writer. Rocket Raccoon was funny, so giving him like a C-3PO, like that'd be funny, like a version
like a 4-issue miniseries where it's just the two of them being silly. Like that would be fun.
Them getting lost, like that. Yeah, or man, that would be funny. It'd be interesting. There's a lot. Man, this thing, and the fact is that, although we did get, these three are the big players and these are the big names, they're expanding the universe beyond this. So we're gonna get side characters that we've never even heard of before.
Oh yeah, this is
exciting.
This is just the tip. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Like there's gonna be so much later on.
Yeah, they're throwing these up because these are the big names, but I'm excited to see what new characters they're gonna introduce. That's gonna be pretty awesome.
I would not be surprised when we are all at New York Comic Con that they do announce more series, because this is just the start. I mean, you're gonna tell me with a straight face that these 3 Star Wars series are not gonna sell like crazy? I predict that the Star Wars #1 is gonna be top 10 the month it comes out, and that's saying a lot, because that's when you get into the Walking Dead, Batman, Spider-Man territory. Star Wars #1, that's gonna be a hit. I mean, there's no question. There is no question.
And also, closer to the movie's release, we're gonna get stories about the young guy, the young like the new young cast of all those young characters. We're gonna get side stories on them, like origin stories.
Whoever takes off, whoever from that movie comes out as the breakout star.
I'm assuming like the Borrega guy, what's his name, the black kid. I'm not sure he's from London.
Yeah.
I want to see his character side story, origin story, how he came to meet Han and all these guys. I'm sure they aren't gonna cover everything in the movie, so. If before the movie they start releasing these things, introducing the new characters, that's just exciting as hell.
And I think a lot of the excitement comes down to it also being a brand new start. Like, much respect to what Dark Horse did, because the J.J. Abrams movies are no doubt going to take from that expanded universe, just because of who they've casted and the type of roles that you see everybody already playing out. But it's a new beginning. Like, people who felt like their Star Wars universe was just too tough to jump into, like, you now can jump into Star Wars comics. It's easy with a brand new start. And unfortunately, it's a shame for Dark Horse, because they did do some really good stuff with the expanded universe. But Marvel is gonna take this to a whole new level.
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea where to jump in at Dark Horse. I know some people suggested reading this and reading that, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's the one problem about Dark Horse, is that there were so many going on, and you didn't know where to jump on. That I jumped on the Star Wars one that rebooted a year ago, maybe, or a year and a half ago, and I stuck with that one. But then, like every couple months, you just saw a new series, and you're like, wait, what? And you saw other series disappearing, and I'm like, it's just weird when they don't really have a main structure. They're just throwing out big names. They never introduce major new characters into that, which is just weird. You have the property and the world, but you didn't introduce any new characters. You only read the ones that you cared about, like that you cared about those characters, which I'm hoping that, I mean, we all believe that that Marvel won't do that. That Marvel is going to clearly introduce new characters in the future, because of the fact that they just have a brand new universe.
Oh yeah.
Like, so we're hoping this could potentially turn into another, like the way the Marvel universe is. They can create a whole line of just pure Star Wars, 30 books of Star Wars with new characters, and I mean, down the line, that's possibilities, man.
They will.
I'm more excited about this than the gosh darn movies.
Yeah, I mean, they will. This will be a big thing.